Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Don't forget to subscribe. It is a free and easy way to support the channel by clicking the little button and then also the little bell thing. I never know where it is, but it's somewhere next to it. I want to say that I'm surprised, but that would be a complete lie because they keep doing this every single time. This isn't the first, it's not the fifth, and it's definitely not the last. We just heard about them. This was it was less than a week ago or something like that. And I get it. I understand what they're doing, but it's also like, leave some for other people? I don't know. Remember MicroStrategy? Of course you do, because we just spoke about them. For those of you who don't know, MicroStrategy is a company who years ago started buying Bitcoin, and then they bought a little bit more Bitcoin, and then they had a lot of Bitcoin. And then we heard that the CEO has a lot of Bitcoin, but he stopped talking about how much Bitcoin that he has because he has a lot of Bitcoin. And then we heard that MicroStrategy, the company, I think holds, but the news was held, more than 1% of all Bitcoin, that will ever exist. They hold more than 1% of Bitcoin. That's when they had, I think it was 193,000 or something like that. That moved up to 204,000. And we recently, just heard about this company. I think the number's right here. Yep. We just heard about them. And apparently MicroStrategy is now holding 244,800 Bitcoin, worth over 14 billion with a B US dollars. When you heard me say that I'm not surprised and I knew this was going to happen because it happens every single time, the company has announced that they're still hungry and they want more Bitcoin. So what are they going to do? MicroStrategy is famous for their MicroStrategy. They focus, as far as we know, mainly on Bitcoin. And they do this by issuing debt against themselves. It's like a really rich person thing. No one would actively try and, especially with the numbers that they do. They did $500 million and then $700 million. And then recently, they purchased $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin through debt that was issued against the company. So the silver golden lining, I don't really know, tends to be that historically, hear me out here, people tend to get quite hyped when MicroStrategy buys Bitcoin. It's not usually quarterly. It's not usually timed. It's kind of specifically either when the market has hit a bottom, it appears it's not going to go any lower, MicroStrategy tends to buy. The other time when they tend to historically panic and buy is usually at the beginning of the crazy portion of a bull run. So they recently announced, before the interest rate thing, that they had just purchased $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's got people really excited because it means that MicroStrategy is kind of basically prepping for the next leg, and they understand that. They said before what their strategy is, if you know the price will go to 100K and you can buy it at 50 something, you're better off buying it at 50 something before it ends up moving a lot higher. The news is that MicroStrategy is once again going to be offering what they call convertible senior notes to the tune of 700 million US dollars. This means that MicroStrategy is going to be issuing debt once again against the company to raise funds to buy Bitcoin. Apparently, they said that they are paying off and have paid off and are paying off some debt that they have that's due in the year 2028. The way that the company works and how they've been buying this egregious amount of Bitcoin is they issue debt against themselves. So we hear, and then Bitcoin rises up in value. They do some magic trick behind the scenes and then they pay off the people who they're in debt to, but not in Bitcoin. MicroStrategy has a very specific strategy where they don't sell any Bitcoin. There were a lot of people who didn't understand that years ago, and they tried to spread rumors. I don't want to say spread lies. That's very like reality TV, but people were basically like, no, they must be selling Bitcoin. And MicroStrategy has stated before that they have no interest in selling any of their coins. They simply are accumulating. Yeah, it gets crazier and crazier all the time when you think of the actual numbers. Decimal place. There are now officially, just from MicroStrategy, it's actually, no, it's not, wait. It's actually higher, because I'm doing it with 1 and I should be doing it with 3. The amount of Bitcoin that MicroStrategy has basically knocks out 75 million people from ever being able to own 0.003 Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure that that's correct. So we keep seeing, and I'll say this lightly, we keep seeing the rich get richer, the wealthier get wealthier in a multitude of ways. But if you've been paying attention to some of the news in the last couple of weeks, between the levels of accumulation, the news that we just had from BlackRock saying that Bitcoin is going to save the world, how that didn't set off alarm bells in people's heads, that's a very powerful statement to say as a company. And I wish more people like took note of things like that, especially when that company has over 400,000 Bitcoin just themselves. We also continue to get Tether news. Tether news is not as popular as MicroStrategy raising $700 million to buy more Bitcoin. For those of you who don't know, Tether is creating billions of coins right now. And they're putting them on multiple blockchains, and they're selling them or giving them or whatever to cryptocurrency exchanges. This happens only right before the next leg of the bull run. It's to increase the amount of liquidity by billions of dollars for people who are going to be trading cryptocurrencies, who require the extra money for the operations that they're going to be performing within the space. We're in a very particular little spot right now within all the markets. And it looks like MicroStrategy and a number of other very wealthy individuals are all kind of preparing. I feel like buying $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin in one day is like prepared enough, but no, they want more. Yeah. Should be surprised. You shouldn't at all. It's just what they do. Yeah. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever. I just hit myself. Wherever you are, wherever you might be, I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.